Hello, hi, it's me, Taz, and today I am horribly lit. I haven't set up any lights because it's not a video that needs any lights. Hold on, there's a thing here that's making noise. Oh well, whatever. This feels so weird. Look at this. Imagine holding all this. This isn't even fully rigged. It's just partially rigged. I've noticed a thing about myself. I've known this for years, and I have put it into words earlier. I think I've talked about it a lot in the past. I haven't really talked about it too openly. I think I've talked about it in my solo pod, at least. And I know I have talked about this a lot to my friends, but it's like there's a really weird feeling when I start recording myself. It's like right now, what I'm feeling is it's really hard to maintain this. Like sit here as me. This is like really difficult to do. And I've noticed like I breathe heavier. I breathe a lot more. I'm a lot more self-conscious and uncomfortable. Okay. Like this is not a fun feeling that I'm sitting with right now. And I'm not having it by myself. It's not because I'm by myself or anything like that, but it's because of this damn thing in front of me. Or not really even specifically the camera. It's the act of recording myself. Like there's a really, really weird, like I don't get this when I record music. I don't really get this when I'm recording voiceovers or anything like that. No, I don't have that problem. But when it's just this, I hate recording myself like this. I really do. Because, and gosh, it's so hard to really like put into words. Like if, I wish, why are we not there yet with technology where I can just like fucking have like archived files of my experiences and memories and like I can like back those up and like send those to like people and have them like consume all of them to like fully understand where I'm coming from. Like, why are we not there yet? Seriously. Instead we just have fucking AI slop now. And I've had to spend a fuck ton of money to get a good proper PC. Which is right over there. If you look, hold on, right down there. Black box. By the way, buddy, hello. Is this close enough for you? Anyway. Also, a battery might run out in the middle of recording, but that's fine, that's okay. I don't even know if this will become a video. You know, that's also something that goes back in the back of my head when I'm doing these kinds of recordings is I won't really even make this into a video. You know how many times I've like recorded a video like this and I just never publish it. The furthest it'll go is go on the timeline, I'll watch it back, and then I'll feel this like deep sense of regret and embarrassment. But I wish I could sit with that, like with this uncomfortable feeling. Or it's not really even that. Fuck, it's really hard to put into words. I'm so quick to like shift into a character in front of a camera. And I hate that version of myself. I really hate that version of myself. It's really hard for me to maintain this, like being real. Hold on, there's a really annoying thing going on here. I'm just gonna rip this one thing off here. This little part's just making really annoying noise. It's particularly frustrating when I want to like share some of my thoughts on anything, not just this. It's a lot easier for me to have a meta conversation about something than it is to like talk about anything else. And there's like this weird phenomenon where if I start talking about something and I'm not like an authority figure, I'm not viewing myself as someone reliable or like, and even if I make that caveat on camera while I'm talking about it, like something, anything really, I still feel like I'm doing something wrong by sharing my limited perspective on anything. Do you know what I mean? I can talk about this. This I can talk about because it's about my feelings and I know myself. Even though I'm an incredibly doubtful person, I doubt myself a lot. And my self-speak for years, since childhood, has been very negative. And I've had some very unhealthy coping mechanisms early on that I won't go into right now. But I have talked about these to like friends in the past. But I've changed a fuck ton since then. I am like a completely different person. But there's still that internal child that's like very, very hard on himself for no reason, really. Well, reasons would be like some like verbal bullying and so on. So you know the deal. If you've been there, you know the deal, okay? People develop insecurities for all kinds of reasons, and I'm no different. You know, one thing also that's really difficult when I'm recording something like this is, like, what's the point? What's the point? There has to be a reason I'm recording this, right? Which, I know that's not true, but there's still that, like, voice or something that's, like, telling me that, like, why are you doing this? Stop right now. Stop the recording. Delete the file. It's like, what am I afraid of? What am I really afraid of? And I know I'm really afraid of being perceived in general. I know that's true. Like, I'm a very shy person. I don't really like standing out myself. And I'm fine with that. It's not like I want to stand out in any way, right? And I don't think standing out in and of itself is a bad thing. I don't think so. I've never thought of it like that. But just that feeling of being perceived by a bunch of people is very uncomfortable, very hard to sit with that. Which is why, for example, I'm a musician. If you didn't know, I play music. If you didn't see from that right there, that corner right there, yeah, I am. Yeah, I am a musician. Okay. But fuck, where was I going with it? I don't like performing in front of people. I really don't. I hate it. I loathe performing in front of people. Or even just like the concept of like viewing, like I've never really understood the concept of doing music as a performance, I guess. It's not like I don't have an appreciation for that. No, I definitely appreciate good performers. But from my own perspective, how I feel about music, how I experience it, it's a lot more personal. I'm not really going out of my way to quote. It's not. I know it's not just showing off to people. That's not what performing is, or it can be that, but it's a lot more nuanced. I know that. I know that to be true. But for me personally, I just, yeah, it's like a very personal, I guess, like ritual almost when I make music. And I know, I could just summarize it by saying I do music for the sake of music. And that's probably actually most musicians, I would argue. But then some people also want to show off. Some people also want to share that experience with others. It's happening again. You can see the internal dialogue in my head on video, I bet. I bet you can see of like, why are you recording this? Stop recording. I'm recording right now because I want to be able to tolerate this feeling. I used to be able to tolerate it, but it was not me ever on camera, I feel like. When I watch back videos, it was always a character. It always is a character. This is also partially a character. But then, also, can I really know myself what is a character? If I'm sitting here by myself in front of this character. Do you know what I mean? I guess character is the wrong word. Because a character can still be a reflection of, any one part of yourself or something you identify within yourself, and you choose to, just like in acting and voice acting and all that stuff, you choose to bring out or emphasize certain parts of yourself that either are or aren't there, in order to match a character in your head and their experiences, and to reflect that as best as you can. I don't know. I hate when I say I don't know, I hate that habit. I know it's just like a thing you develop, like some people say like a lot, right? And it's just a habit. And for me, I don't know, is a habit. It's just a filler word, basically. But I still dislike it, because I do know. I do know. But it's that habit I've developed by just, not being able to assert myself, not being able to impose my ideas, thoughts, and feelings onto others for the longest time. It's always been wishy-washy, right? The way I speak comes across as very inconfident, I think. I almost said it again. I really tried to hold it back right there. I almost said, I don't know, again. I guess if there was one point to this video, well, one of them is I just want to be consistent again. Or not consistent, I just want to make something again. I want to have an excuse to make something on this channel again, That's all I want to do. And then second is this is exposure therapy for me. I'm exposing myself to something very uncomfortable to be able to withstand it, hopefully, in the future. I was about to say, I don't like this. But at the same time, I want to be able to do this. I want to be able to share what's going on in here, right? Because it's not just when I try to speak in front of a camera. It's not just then. It's also when I try to record a gaming video, for example. With the Mario Kart Wii videos I just did on a whim. Or the Noita videos. Those as well. But I've noticed I'm beginning to retreat into my own shell again. And there's these voices that are just really screaming at me, do not start the recording. Do not hit record, because it will be useless. You won't get anything out of it. And I did actually try to force myself through one of those days. I wanted to record another Mario Kart Wii video, but I was so frustrated with the recording. I wasn't really talking much. I couldn't express a single coherent thought. And every time I wanted to really talk about something, go into something like an interest or anything, I thought what's the point? Who cares? And I know that's one of the reasons why I talked about in one of my videos is having another person to talk to gives meaning. I know it doesn't need that external stimuli by another person for it to be meaningful. Nothing has to be meaningful. Even a conversation with another person doesn't have to have any meaning behind it, or a purpose, I guess. I know that's true, but it's still really hard to commit to something that I guess I perceive as meaningless. So yeah, it's not like I try to force myself to record whenever. If I like if I am genuinely feeling so uncomfortable with the idea of recording myself, I won't do it. Just today, earlier, I tried to record a video on or about like revisiting my island in Animal Crossing New Horizons after neglecting the whole game for 3 years. I tried doing that, but I was sitting there looking at the menu for like 30 minutes. I had everything set up. Like nothing was like wrong. Everything was running smoothly. I knew everything would work out perfectly. But then this like awful, like what if I fail? How the fuck do you fail a video like that? What? There's no script to that. What if I don't have perfect reactions? What the fuck? Who cares? Who the fuck cares? Seriously. God. Fuck. Why is it that... Why does it have to be... Why can I not be this? Why can I not just be... I know I know I don't always give reactions that match my internal whatever landscape. Like internal emotional landscape, that's what I meant. It's really hard for me to like express myself to the fullest degree. Or it's not even lack of self-expression, it's because I run into this a lot, actually, even between friends. Is when someone tells me something that I like, I want to like congratulate, like I genuinely feel good for that person, for something good that happened to them or something like that. And it's like my like what internally I'm like, oh fuck, that's cool. Wow, congrats. Like, and then what comes out is like, oh, okay, cool, nice. And it just comes across, and a friend might even like respond with, well, that was a little dispassionate. And then I'm like immediately like a little ashamed, and I have to like explain it again. I don't blame my friend for that at all. I really don't. It's just like what goes on in here, like internally, is not perfectly like it's really difficult for me to reflect that outwardly or project it outwardly. I don't know. I dislike that. I really hate that. Yeah, I hate that version of me. Or not version, I mean, I hate that aspect of me. Like I am such a outwardly very like dry person. I'm not always that way. Sometimes I am actually very expressive and loud. Very loud, actually. And I'm like very outward, and I'm not retreating into a shell, and it's like I'm like a lot. And it's not like immediate either. It's like, or maybe it is. I actually don't know. Like, I feel so all over the place sometimes. Right now I'm very low energy. And there have been times during this recording, I know, where I've been, like, there's like sudden bursts of like, whatever. I know that. But like sometimes it's like 100%. I'm like 100% all the time, like playing a game with a friend. It's really intense, and it's not because of the game necessarily, because I can play the same game the same way, but still not be that explosive while playing it. Like my energy levels feel like they're like up here and they're down there, and look, it's like, I don't know. Like it's not that I'm unstable, but it's like, okay. So the recording cut off because the battery ran out. So that's very fun. But what I was saying, I don't think I'm emotionally unstable, but I just, I don't know. You know what? Maybe I am emotionally unstable. I actually don't know. I had to think about I had to actually stop and think about that for like a full fucking minute. Maybe I am emotionally unstable. You know what? That could be a possibility. Or not unstable. Unstable, it just feels like the incorrect word here. Inconsistent, maybe? Like energy level wise or something? I don't know. I don't think I have anything else to say. Well, I have a fuck ton of other things I could talk about, but I think it was just step. Like I've now like established a theme for this video, so I'm not going to step outside of that or whatever. Gosh, I don't even remember when the last time was when I recorded something like this. Have I ever recorded something like this, actually? During all these years, have I ever done something like this? I don't actually think so. Or maybe I have. I don't remember. But it always has felt like a character. I've never been able to sit here as me, as best as I can manage. This is me. This is me. Yeah. I hope I can be me more, I guess. Or maybe not. I don't have to do this. I don't have to make videos for you. I don't have to be me for you. No one has to be themselves for another person, necessarily. You know what I mean? How many times have I asked that? Someone's kept count, I know. Someone has to have kept count, maybe. I will keep count. Yeah. I'm going to show you my cat one more time before I go. Fucking cutest little thing. I swear. Bye. See you never. Or someday, I don't know. I don't know how to end videos again. I'd never know. Like and subscribe. Who the fuck was... Bye-bye. Goodbye. See you someday. I don't know. I'm going to cut everything. I'm going to cut all of this out of the video, okay? You will never see this. You will never see me embarrassing myself and being cringe. I could never be cringe in front of a camera. Okay. Actually, goodbye. For real this time. I'm going to be real and I'm going to say nothing. Goodbye.